Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about our winter weather pattern as we go through the month of December. We have a winter storm that is departing the east as we go through the rest of today, how much more snow is on the way and rain on the warm side. And then we're going to be looking at, like I mentioned, our winter weather pattern moving into December as the polar vortex is really going to be driving our pattern through the rest of this month, straight through the holidays of Christmas and the new year. So if you are here, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. As always, we cover the United States, we cover Canada, and of course the tropics during tropical weather season. If you do enjoy the video, give it a like, a thumbs up, share it, hype it. I definitely appreciate that. You can go follow me over there on Facebook for quick, informative weather updates that we post to my Facebook page. The link for that will be in the description down below the video, also pinned to the top of the comment section down below the video. And after the video, might as well leave a comment, how you doing today and stuff like that. Definitely appreciate your comments out there. So today is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. My name is Hunter, and we're looking at our winter storm here in the east. In blue, that is our snow. The darker blue is where the heavier snow rates are of 1 to 2 inches per hour. Notice the rain snow line here very close to the coast. So Boston, Cape Cod, down here into Providence, and then very close to the Hartford area. It's very hard to say if we're at rain or snow or a mix of rain and snow. And then New York City here, we're mainly rain. Trenton, New Jersey, all the way to DC. So really along and southeast of the I-95 corridor as you go to the coast is rain. North and west of the I-95 corridor is snow. And some heavier snow is flying there into upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, western Massachusetts, and on up there into Maine. As we go through the rest of this afternoon, notice how that snow shield starts to dwindle a little bit. That's our strong high pressure that's building in on the backside, bringing in some drier air, importing it into the storm. It's going to eat away at the backside of our snowpack here across portions of the New England region, or at least the snow shield, I should say. And then going into the morning hours on Wednesday, outside of a few snow showers near the Boston area or coastal Maine, I think we should be clear as we go into the afternoon, although we are watching some lake effect snow that'll start building up on the leading edge of our strong high pressure, and that could produce some decent totals going through the day on Wednesday. But for our winter storm here, we are looking at some decent totals still to come as we have about 5 to 8 more inches of snow from southern Vermont into New Hampshire there, including the Concord, New Hampshire region, up into Maine, including Portland and Augusta, Maine, all the way to Caribou. So that is the area where we could see the heaviest snowfall. The closer to the coast you go, so Boston, Cape Cod, Long Island, New York City, Providence, Hartford, even down into Trenton, New Jersey, Dover, Delaware, those areas we're going to be seeing mainly rain, so the snow totals are going to be significantly cut down in those areas. Here's the rainfall that we see on the warm side, and we still could be picking up some significant rainfall totals. Boston getting about an inch and a quarter of rain, Long Island getting about an inch of rain here, and then around a half inch to an inch on average across the Eastern Seaboard, all the way down into the coastal Carolinas and Georgia. Cape Hatteras, the Outer Banks here in North Carolina, may pick up another 2 inches of rain here. This may be more of the significant area of rain going through Wednesday morning. Now, as we look through the rest of the week, we do have an active pattern that will continue. We've got the northwest flow, and this is going to give us every 48 hours or so some clipper systems from the north, from Canada. That could bring those nickel and dime type snows 1 to 2 inches here, 1 to 2 inches there. Maybe some southern stream energy could give us a little bit of a wintry mix across portions of the mid-Atlantic as we go into the day on Friday. That's out ahead of our cold air, and that could be some cold air damming all the way down into North Carolina. I wouldn't even rule out maybe some sleet freezing rain as far south as northern South Carolina with this setup going into Friday evening, and then that will push out of the air into the Atlantic Ocean as we go into the day on Saturday, and then we're going to be left with, again, those more clipper systems off the northwest flow. Here's the snowfall we see. This is going through next Monday on December 8th, and notice it's our nickel and dime type snows. Half inch here, an inch there, 1 to 2 inches here, 1 to 2 inches there. Not like a huge snow, snow, but they will be adding up over time, and overall we could be seeing enough snow to get the leaf blower out and to shovel across the north as we go through the rest of the week here and into the weekend. Heavier snows will be ticketed for areas of the Rockies, especially the northern Rockies. We're looking at Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, and then into the central Rockies around the Salt Lake City area, outside Denver there, including the city of Denver, could be seeing some heavier snow in this pattern. And now we turn our attention to the next big weather story this week, and it's the cold air, right? It's going to be very cold. Make sure to bundle up. Here comes a big push of Arctic air once we get into the middle of the week for Wednesday, pushing into the Dakotas, Minnesota there, and into northern Wisconsin. And then Thursday, that pushes even further south toward the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. That will push into portions of the Northeast as we go into Thursday night. Then we get a little reprieve and then a secondary reinforcing shot of some cooler air, although a glancing blow of it as we head into the weekend. And these temperature anomalies are very cold, right? This is early December and our average high and lows are already low enough. And we're seeing temperature anomalies 40, 45 degrees below normal here. This is Thursday morning. And then heading into the weekend, that glancing blow could still give us a 20 to 30 degrees below normal temperature anomalies for the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and especially the southern Canadian prairies as we go into the weekend there for Saturday, December 6th and Sunday, December 7th. Let's take a look at those high temperatures. This afternoon, going to be chilly out there. Still got the snowpack on the ground in the Midwest. That's like a freezer acting to cool our temperatures near the surface. And we can see temperatures below freezing into the 20s up here into the upper Midwest. Also portions of New England where that snow is sticking. If you want warmer air, you go to Miami, right? We're into the mid 80s. Actually, record highs in Miami and Dade County this afternoon at 85. And then as we go into Wednesday, we're going to see that colder air working its way into the north. We have those single digits and teens up here, especially favoring North Dakota and Minnesota. Thursday is going to be the record cold day across the Midwest, Great Lakes, and the Ohio Valley, with highs in the single digits to the teens. These will produce a widespread record cold high temperatures. And then as we go into Friday, maybe some record cold temperatures into Michigan, although we are seeing a little bit of a reprieve. And then into the weekend, we have a reinforcing shot. Maybe not record cold for the weekend because it's a glancing blow of some Arctic air. It's a little further north, the second one, but we definitely could still see some single digits and teens for highs into areas of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Dakotas going into Sunday, December 7th. Our low temperature is also going to be very cold. As we start the day tomorrow on Wednesday morning, we could see sub-zero temperatures here. This is not even indicating the wind chills, right? These are 0 to about 10 below up there into northeastern Montana and North Dakota, and then widespread sub-zero lows. Again, this is not the wind chill. These are your actual air temperatures. And this could be record cold lows here across Iowa, northern Minnesota, northern Illinois, and southern Wisconsin, where we could be as much as 15 degrees below zero as we start the day on Thursday. And then we could see some record cold lows across the Ohio Valley into the Northeast, including the I-95 corridor going into Friday morning. See a little bit of a reprieve and then some more sub-zero lows once we go into Sunday morning for the north up there toward Minnesota. Our wind chills this afternoon are going to be in the single digits above zero, so that's a silver lining. At least it'll be above zero across the Midwest. Starting off Wednesday morning, we have those 10, 20 degree below zero wind chills up there in North Dakota and northern Minnesota. And then going into Wednesday afternoon, still hanging on to those sub-zero wind chills around 5 to 15 below from North Dakota into Minnesota again. And then Thursday morning looks to be one of the coldest. We could be as cold as 30 degrees below zero into portions of central Minnesota, including the Twin Cities, Duluth, all the way over there toward La Crosse. So it's going to be very cold starting off the day on Thursday. Maybe some school delays to watch out for as we go into Thursday morning. Make sure to start your car early before you're going off to work. And then as we go into the morning hours on Friday, still some sub-zero wind chills near 15 below in northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and single digits below zero for southern Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. So again, throughout late week, make sure you are starting your car early to warm it up. In the east, we could see those wind chills starting to get below zero once we get into, say, Thursday and especially Friday morning. I think Friday morning could be one of the coldest mornings here in northern Maine and portions of New England, 15 to 30 degrees below zero there. Again, maybe some school delays to watch out for by Friday across portions of New England. Now let's take a look up here at the northern hemisphere, okay? And the blue is basically a trough, and the orange or red, that is your ridging. So what you're looking for here is the polar vortex as we go here into the second week of December. This is Monday, December 8th, which is next Monday, through the following Monday, December 15th, right straight through mid-month. Notice here in the North Atlantic, from really extending from Europe all the way back across the North Atlantic here and elongating to the northeast, that is our trough, and that's keeping us cool. We also have a trough over here near Alaska and Western Canada, which is very interesting because typically when Alaska is cool, general, the east is warm, but that is not the case this time around. And in the southwest, we got that southwest ridge. So we look here at the pattern going into next week, and it does favor cooler temperatures over here in the northeast. Now, is it going to be Arctic, record-breaking cold? No, but I do feel that we are going to be seeing colder than normal temperatures by a handful of degrees, especially favoring those snowpack areas into the New England region, parts of the northern Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and the Midwest. And then that ridge out west is going to flex its muscles a bit and have above normal temperatures out there next week. Now we look at precipitation. There are two jet streams we look for, especially in the wintertime, is your polar jet to the north and your subtropical jet further to the south. The subtropical jet is actually pretty far south here, south of Florida, so we may get some moisture down here in southern Florida, but it's cutting off from the southeast, so we have a little bit of split flow, if you will. So that means drier weather. It's not bone dry, but it's drier for the southeast going into the second week of December. And then we have that northwest flow regime across the northern United States into the Great Lakes, which could A, activate the lake effect snow, and B, give us some clipper systems here from Alberta and Saskatchewan. And those are your nickel and dime type snows that continue into next week. And you can see some of those could be stronger. And if we get cold enough air, that could, be your 15-to-1, your 20-to-1 ratio snows, which would be your fluffy snow. And that could be enough to get, again, the leaf blower out, or even those shovels to shovel, 1 to 3 inches, 2 to 4 inches of snow going straight up through mid-December. Here's the snowfall output according to the European model. It is showing around, a few inches of snow on average across the west, especially the northern Rockies, and then up here into the upper Midwest, northern plains vicinity, and then through the Great Lakes and New England away from the coast. And then the further south you go, I think it's too warm for any snow, at least through the mid-month period. It is not bone dry, but we do see some moisture down here in the southeast in the form of rain. It is much drier, though, if you get into West Texas, say up into western Oklahoma, southwest Kansas, eastern New Mexico, and southeast Colorado. That pocket there, pretty dry as we go into week 2 of December. Now, again, we take a trip up to the northern hemisphere here and the stratosphere for that matter, and we look here at the polar vortex. It is setting up shop here today across portions of the Hudson Bay. That is our quick cold air access that we see late this week. But notice the progression of the polar vortex as we go through late week. We see a glancing blow of that pivoting around into the United States into the weekend, and then we see it kind of decouple a little bit and get a little bit more stable, pushing the polar vortex over across the globe to Asia, so Asia will be colder as we go into the second week of December. And then as we go towards the third week, notice how we see a little bit of an elongation or a complete split of the polar vortex again. This means that colder air will be making its way back from Asia into North America as we go closer to Christmas there into the third week of December. So we look at that here from an extended ensemble perspective. Yes, this is the control member, but you get an idea. We got that southerly, southeasterly ridge that's going to remain locked in place for week 3, remaining cooler across the north and the northeast. That is the pattern. And then once we get into Christmas week and then for New Year's Eve, that pattern will get colder as we start to lay down more snow, and then we get that colder push from Asia back to North America with the polar vortex getting elongated or a complete split, and that'll bring some colder air and Arctic air back to southern Canada and the northern U.S. And maybe this gets a little bit further south this go around, so we'll have to keep an eye on how far south some of this Arctic air gets for our storm track. But overall, here is the mean. This is the average of snowfall, what we see. You can see, of course, the Pacific Northwest feasting off of this, maybe the Sierras from time to time as well. The southern Rockies may struggle early, but I think we may start to see some snowfall out here once we get closer to the end of the month as that colder air pushes south. And then we start to see bigger snowstorm potential for the upper Midwest, lake effect snow for the Great Lakes, and again, the big snowstorm potential for the Northeast, especially favoring New England, north and west of the I-95 corridor. Just for the heck of it, let's look here at the control member, and you can see it's actually a little further south with the snow on the control member here for the southern Rockies, for example, and even gives us some southern snow for Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia. So there is still potential to see some white Christmases further south. We're just going to have to wait for another lobe of the polar vortex to come south into the second half of December to get that to be realized. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Thank you all for watching. Again, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are here. Sometimes we do 2 a day, so make sure to look out for those. The best way to do that is to subscribe, like the video, share it, and hype it. Also, turn on your post notification bell to all so you get all my videos and live streams when I do post them to my YouTube channel. That's the best way as well. Follow me on Facebook for quick, informative weather updates. The link for that will be in the description down below the video and posted to the top of the comment section down below the video as well. Leave me a comment what you think about this upcoming winter weather pattern and what it means for you as well. So thank you all for watching and have a wonderful and safe rest of your Tuesday, December 2nd out there.